Hi, I'm Daphne Oz, and today I'm here with Chantecaille showing you how to achieve a beautiful, fresh, everyday makeup look. I like to start my eye look with the Mermaid Eye Matte in the color Sylvie. You can see it's a really rich, ambery brown, very tan, and I think it's a great base for any eyeshadow, even on its own, if you just want to keep something in your purse to kind of dab onto your eye. I'm using my palette here. This is a custom palette of some shades that I love. I'm gonna start with a bit of this warm brown here, and this is gonna saturate the tone that I have on my lid already, which again is a really neutral, alive place to start from, which I love. And I'm just sort of delicately patting it over the entire lid. And check yourself as you go. It's like cooking. You wanna taste before you serve anyone. Don't leave your house or don't get too far along in the process without having checked that you like where you're headed. And I do like where I'm heading here. Really gold, but with a cool tone so that it doesn't look overly bronzed. So once I have a good base of the brown overall, I'm actually gonna go in with this pink, and I'm gonna use a flatter brush. This is the Eye Blend brush, because I wanna pick it up and really deposit mostly in this sort of center, almost if you pick the highest point of your eye and work up. Then I'm gonna take more of an angled brush, like this eye definer. And I'm gently gonna press it into more of this sort of cool tone gray. And I always tap after I've brought it onto the brush so that there isn't any left to kind of flake onto my eye. And I'm just gonna go right into the deepest part of my eye socket. I don't want a hugely defined lid. I don't want it to feel like it's deep, but I do want there to be some dimension between where my eyeshadow is and where my brow bone is. You want to highlight the high points of your face, and part of doing that is creating shadow. And something I really love to do, again, in keeping with the blending look, is I'll take a clean brush, any kind of face brush that you have, a fluffy brush works well, and I just buff along the outer edge of the eyeshadow so that there isn't a harsh line between my brow bone and the rest of the shadow. This is the Chantecaille Luster Glide Silk Infused Eyeliner. I'm using Jasper, which is a really beautiful, rich brown, and I'm going to show you on my wrist because you'll see I can, rub it out a little bit, and the warmth of my finger will help to massage it and blend it into any line. Instead of starting all the way in the inner corner of my eye and building out, I'm going to start from the middle of my eye, the highest point of my eye, again with that lifting up idea in mind. Okay, so I use my pinky and I kind of anchor it to my face. That makes me stable as I use these little hash marks to gently build out the outer corner first. I like this look. I like a really fluffy, bold lash, and you can kind of build in the volume by adding in that liner right here at the root of the lash. And then I just bring it into the center corner really delicately just to complete the line, but not to overbuild there. I don't want a heavy lid. And I can use my ring finger at this point if I want to smudge it a little bit. Again, the heat of that finger will help the formula melt just a touch so that it gets really smoky and fresh looking. Once I've built the outer edge with the brown, I'll go back with the black and just get right along the lash line to extra define the eye shape. Remember, your eyes are sisters, not twins. So again, check as you go. You want to make sure that you are accentuating. Now, I told you I love to go back with the dark shade. So I'm going to use Slate again in this Luster Glide Silk Infused Eyeliner. With the black, I can go now right along the lash line and give it slightly more definition than it has. It also makes it a little bit blue, which I like. I'm going to wait to put my mascara on and to finish the eyes until I'm done with my face. It's time for foundation, and you'll see how quickly this really completes the overall beautiful skin that we talked about right at the outset of this makeup application. So the first thing I'm going to start with is the Future Skin Foundation. This formula is creamy, it's water-based, it doesn't stick to pores, it doesn't attach to that dry, flaky section that you might have. It really feels very sort of movable throughout the day. I'm going to apply it with my fingers because you'll see how smooth the finish is. If you have a brush or a sponge and you prefer to do it that way, it's great too. And you can see right from the outset how it corrects my color. So I have a little bit of redness in my skin. This color has a little bit of yellow, which is going to help counterbalance that. And even just with such a little amount going on, watch this dull skin effect. It's unbelievable. It's taking down any redness, it has a real smoothing effect, and again, provides the perfect amount of coverage for daytime or for heavier needs as well. Okay, so now it's time for some under eye concealing, which I always need help with. I love this Camouflage Stylo. Friends call it La Camo. It is an anti-fatigue corrector pen, and I like to actually put it onto the top of my skin here on my hand and use my fingertips to apply, but you can use just the little brush and do some hash marks here too to just feather it onto the under eye area. It's brightening, it's hydrating, it does combat those signs of fatigue, puffiness, under eye circles. You end up getting this really diffused, highlighted area in that triangle underneath your eye, running down the bridge of your nose and up to the top of your cheekbone here. So here, I like to use the HD Reflecting Loose Powder. This is called Candlelight. How easy is this? You don't need to bring anything additional, compact or anything like that. Everything is all in one convenient applicator. So the powder comes out the tip, and you can see as you brush it on how diffused and matte, but not dry, it makes the skin look. Now it's time for some blush. I love working with the Cheek Gelée. This is a hydrating gel cream blush, and I do apply it with my fingers, and it's highly buildable. So I start low, and I smile to get the highest part of my cheeks, but it does just melt right into the skin and give you that lit from within happy glow, which I like. So this is the Faux Longest Lash Mascara. There's rose oil in this formula, so it's hydrating and it helps your lashes grow. It helps your lashes rebuild and fortify. So I start here at the base of each lash and wiggle, and I'm gonna deposit color that way and start to build the lash from the root as I pull up. And then with my eyes shut, I kind of just brush up on that outer corner, and you can see it really finishes that outer texture that I wanted, that outer lifted corner. So before I can sign off on my eyes, I just want to apply a little bit of gel. I love to use this Full Brow Perfecting Gel and Tint, sort of like hairspray for your brows. So I start at the inner corner and lift up. Again, everything here is about lifting the face up. And then for the outer edges, I just want to complete the arch and smooth them all together. It does build a really lovely thick brow and puts everything in line to create that nice uniform arch. For an everyday daytime look especially, I love a really rich rosy pout. I think that it's the most naturally and universally flattering color. This is the lip definer, and I use the color Nuance. It really is a pretty great match for my natural pinky skin tone here. Because again, I want to create that shadow, which is what creates the added fullness I'm looking for. You can see it's right almost at the outer edge of where my natural lip starts and stops. And then I use my finger just to blur it and smudge it a little bit so you don't get a very harsh liner look. The lip Veil in Baobab is one of my favorite colors for every day. It looks like a really dusty rose color. If there's anything additional that you want to go ahead and add at this point, you can. But this is pretty much my go-to look. I think it's fresh and alive looking. I feel like it helps me put my best face forward, makes me feel confident in my day, and it still looks like me. The best makeup looks like the best version of you, and hopefully that's what this does.